Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this could be a little bit different of a video, but this is something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. I believe I mentioned it a couple times in previous videos that if you haven't watched me much, I am huge into the Wyze surveillance cameras. I've got like 5 or 6 of their cameras. I know that's horrible not to even know that really, but it is what it is. So I've got like their original. This is their original cam. It basically it's pretty cool though, because like the little mount here is magnetic, so you can stick like against your fridge. Like it's for indoor, but you can buy like outdoor casings for it by other companies. The company I happen to use often to modify these, like to put them outside or whatever, is called, I believe it's called like Wasserstein or something like that. I'll link it below, along with, of course, with Wyze, because I'm telling you, this company is great. I mean, every company has like little glitches here and there, we all know. But so anyway, alright, so what we got going on is, I have 2 of these floodlights by, yes, there's the name of the company, in fact, right there. Wasserstein, Wasserstein. I'm guessing it's Wasserstein. It sounds like a German company. I could be totally wrong on that. And Wasserstein, I apologize if so. And I'm not sponsored by either one of these guys. I saw these. They were pretty decent in price. I bought these probably about a year ago, so I couldn't quote exactly what they cost now. But if I remember right, these are around like $50 or $60 each. I've got 2 of them. I have one up in the corner by the front big garage door. That's this one. And I've got another one on the side of the barn right here that faces out towards the main part of the yard, side of the yard. So, and here's the thing. Okay, so this here is made to go, and by the way, when you get this, if you was to buy this, by chance purchase it, it comes with this whole little kit. Basically, your camera goes in here, and then the backing, I believe is like, yeah, and it has a little spot, so there, like basically that encases it. And the camera still works fine. I've had this camera out there with this floodlight for about a year. And the other camera as well, and they work fine. Now, on the other hand though, this particular spotlight right here, and I'm going to let you guys know at the end of this video if it's still working well or not, but I've been having trouble with this one. It could be on my behalf of wiring or whatever. By the way, if you guys wire things or whatever, always be careful. Electricity can kill you, you know, that kind of stuff. I got to be careful. That stuff. So anyway, make sure your power's off, you know, stuff like that when you go to hook stuff up. But it's like, it'll work half and half. Like sometimes it'll work, sometimes it don't. And obviously if this doesn't work, this won't work because there's a USB port, and this is what really caught my eye about wanting to buy it. So you hook your cord, your power cord up. So the back of this, you see how there's a USB, which I have yet to use that. I imagine you can power or even maybe run it to a source where you can watch it maybe directly or connect it directly to your Ethernet. I don't really know. If I was smart enough, I'd read the directions. But anyway, so the Android, like I said, it's the older one. I know you're not going to be able to see that because of my camera. I apologize. But it's the like the first Android plug, if you want to call it that, like the micro USB, I believe it's called. So you plug it in the back of that, and then the USB plugs into the floodlights. So yeah, so basically that's what powers it. So when you power up the floodlight hardwired, it powers your camera. That's basically your setup, is like that. Well, like I said, I want it to pan. So this is probably not warranted through Wyze, but this is something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. So this is the cam pan. or pan cam. I'll have to maybe might even say on here exactly what it's called. Wyze cam pan. So I will. I believe this is the V2. I believe, but this is like I believe the original cam pan too. Since they have new models out, that I have one in my front porch, by the way, the newer model, and the night vision is unreal. Like, I mean, you wouldn't think it was even nighttime out. I'm impressed with this company. So what I was going to show you guys next is this is the it's like a silicone, but I'll tell you what, when my west is that way for me outside the garage door there, and that sun comes in, you know, and it hits this. I mean, well, not this one in particular, but like it's beat up this camera. I mean, and it's still kicking. I mean, that sun is brutal when it comes down out here in the country. There is nothing blocking the sun at all. So these aren't meant to be, from what I understand, outside. Just like these aren't meant to be really outside. But like I said, there again, you could go to different companies. I would recommend, if anything, as we speak, because I've used their products a few times with Wyze, and I will link these below. I'll link like the cameras, I'll link this, and like I said, I'm not recommending you guys do this. It's just I've been wanting to do this because I want, when my floodlights kick on, I want, instead for it to be stationary and just focusing on that area, to follow the subject, whatever it's picked up. And that's what this guy does. It's really cool. I mean, because it will follow you. Like, I mean, for example, my boys, they had a little shindig while I was out of town not too long, a couple weeks ago. And this was following, one of their buddies noticed that the camera was following. Well, they thought I was literally watching them. No. I got notified that, you know, this kicked on, because it's really good about that. And it was funny because he was making funny faces, acting stupid, doing other things, acting stupid. He thought I was watching him. Well, I got to see him on my notification. But anyway, all these cameras, you could hear and talk, you know, communicate back and forth to the person, you know, like at the front porch. If I haven't done it yet, I mean, personally, because I just answer the door or whatever, or if I'm not home, I'm not home. But like when I get a package dropped off, just like the commercials. I mean, you see the person dropping it off, you could be like, oh, just put it in the front door, which that's what they're going to do anyway. But it was funny because I was able to talk to them through my other cam pan on the back of my deck there, and was teasing with one of their buddies that was doing that, saying, you look really silly, bud. I mean, I wasn't watching you. He's like, oh, I thought you were watching me. And we're talking through this. You know, he's out off the deck, and this is on the house side of the deck. So it's decent range. I mean, I like it. I really enjoy these cameras. So this is like a silicone. There's a bunch of different companies out there that sell these different ones that are compatible with different camera companies. Mine just happens to be Wyze. I like Wyze. My brother actually had told me how his boss had a few of them. I've been on to Wyze now for probably about 2.5, 3 years at least. I'm pretty sure about 2.5, 3 years, I'm thinking. And it started out with wanting to put one in my house, you know, facing the front door, you know, stuff like that. To the point where now it's like I love to watch where the dogs are, what they're doing, if they're in the yard, if they haven't gotten out, you know, which they usually don't, but they have before a while back. But anyway, so you can buy these products. Like I said, I don't recommend it. I mean, like, if say your camera stops working, I'm guaranteeing that Wyze would not back it and be like, oh, your camera stopped, we'll replace it. No, I don't believe so, because they do have outdoor cameras that are made for outdoors. They have corded ones, not this one particularly, but it's, I believe it's called Wyze Cam Outdoors, that are corded. And I believe there's, see, the V3, I believe it looks like a lot like this, but it's the V3, I believe, is corded. Like, you have to have a power source of some sort. which is nice because like the floodlight I showed you, for example. And also Wyze has I've got a couple of these. You screw it into the light bulb and it has a USB on the side of it. So like say your front door, you don't have an outlet nowhere, but you'd like to have a camera. Well, that makes it really nice. That's what I've got going on up front is that, I wish I had an extra to show you guys, but like I said, they're up and being used right now. But yeah, you screw that into where the bulb would normally go, and then you screw in your bulb. Regular bulb, smart bulb, whatever, but you can use a regular bulb because those little bulb socket adapters, they make those, when you use that, it makes that bulb a smart bulb. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty genius. So I mean, they're not very expensive. I'm pretty sure they're like around $10, something like that for those. So if you guys are interested in like these outdoor cameras or whatever, they've got locks, you know, for your front door, back door, you know, where you can either use, I think you can use a code or use it by your phone, you know, watch whatever camera you want to watch. But back to the casing, right? So here's the casing for the cam pan, and just basically it just pushes in there, and you've got your housing. Now the one I got out front, and if I think about it, I'll take you guys out there in a minute, you guys can see it, but it looks like a birdhouse, and birds have fell for it. I mean, I get notifications all the time, and I can turn my notifications off, but I just leave one in the front yard on. I just do. So this is what I got going on here, guys. So what I'm doing right now is I cut this piece of bar, flat bar I've got, and you could use anything, I bet you, any amount of money, because I bought this at Menards. I've had it laying around, got a couple of them. I realized this will work perfect for the cam pan, because you see this hole right here. It'll go through here, and it's got plenty of room where it won't hit. So that's my idea. That's my idea. It may not work out well at all, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright, so I have it welded now. Still kind of hot, so I got this glove still on. Nothing pretty. I just basically welded through the holes that you can no longer see. Use that for welding spots, and the little part right there you're not going to see. But this is what's going to be facing out. Won't burn myself. That's what's going to be facing out the pan cam sitting on top of this. And then this will bolt onto that, allowing for the cam pan to spin on, you know, swivel or whatever you want to call it on this. So, I don't know, that might be an epic fail, but this may work fine. I don't know, but like I said, I've been wanting to try forever. So, now what I'm going to do is let this clip cool down, get that sticker off of it, and I'm going to paint it white. That way at least it matches with this. Doesn't look like, you know, some DIY project. Kind of obvious though that if you have that cam pan, it's gonna hit this, so it ain't gonna work out. You don't want to bring it way out here. Then you'll block your little sensor. Now I also wanted to say as well that Wyze now, after I bought these a year ago or whatever, they now have their own floodlights. And I do believe though that they are still only for a typical normal stationary camera. So if you guys decide to do this, it's on you guys. Like, I'm not saying go out and do this. This is just my idea. This is my way of modifying and trying to make my situation and make the Wyze cam work better for my needs. Where these hook up at is on the side of the motor. So right there. So I'm not sure. I might have to get a little bit of a longer cord, but if you're like me, you probably have like cord chargers everywhere. Like, you know, there again, I think it's called micro USB, but this might, I don't know. So if you look, you can position the lights either way. I have mine like this because this one's what faces my side drive. Out here faces my side drive, and then this one right here faces towards this direction to illuminate the actual, you know, garage area. So that's how I have mine faced. But now the camera previously, because I was looking at it and making sure that it's not going to block the sensor too well, This is the casing that you put the cam in. This kind of cam, the one that it works for. Any cam's gonna plug into this because it has the USB for the power, but this one's made for Wyze. So that's why you've got this little screw hole here that screws into this. And so it eventually, anyway, it sticks out about to here. So if I have my pan, whatever it's called, no offense to Wyze, it's not going to be much more different. I mean, actually, it might be a little bit lower and a little bit more out of the way, but it definitely is not going to be blocking that sensor any more than what this did. So I've had problems with this particular one since day one. Now, like I said, the other one on the other side of the barn, it's worked flawlessly with the camera and all since I've gotten it. But this one here, like I said, it could be the operator's fault. It could be my fault, my wiring or something like that. But I noticed the camera was not powering on when these were not working at night. So, which makes sense, obviously. It's not going to power on if this ain't powered right. So, I think it's me. I think it's something I've done wrong in the wiring. I don't know how, because I wired the other one up too. But anyway, I'm going to get this painted. This is cooled off now. And try to get this thing assembled in there. See what happens. By the way, if you guys like this kind of content, you're kind of like hanging out with me like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'm always modifying things like this. Like I said, there again, where it, like I said, probably ain't gonna be warranted, and it's past warranty anyway on these particular cameras anyway. There's the animals, Ruger and Riley. Girls. My gate's been working out pretty good. You can see that fixture way up there, right there where my finger's at. Don't be talking crap to me, boy. Hear me? There's my other pan cam. It has the same deal going on. Has the same thing. The little housing that goes on it. This has been under here for a while. I mean, you can see where it's starting to screw right there. I mean, it's just got light, surface rust on it or whatever. And here is the socket, the Wyze bulb socket. So this is kind of looking kind of janky at the moment. A lot of people try to figure out nice ways to try to hide it. If you guys like these type of videos, like I said, let me know in the comments. I know my how-to videos don't do well, so that's why I figure I would just kind of let you guys know the ideas, show you guys the progress as I get them completed, and just kind of hang out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get up and connect the floodlight to that to make sure it's gonna even work correctly. But I mean, it's got a good amount of LED chips in it. If you guys are able to see that, they're bright. I mean, they're bright enough where I'm happy with it. And it gets pitch dark out here. You guys have seen previous videos. It gets pitch dark. Well, as of right now, it's a success. So yeah, besides my crappy camera, I'm not going to show you how good it looks, because it's a good picture, real good picture. I like it so far. Hopefully it holds up. Let me show you guys the finished product. There it is with the bracket. Yeah, see how it's turning and following me? So I like that. I like that feature, and I like the fact that now I could zoom in, zoom out, pan in, pan out, left, right, top, bottom. You can set a detection zone where it won't pick up the road out there. It'll mess with wherever you set the detection zone to be. So it's really nice to have this lit up at night. Like if I'm messing with a car or out here bullshitting with some friends or whatever the case might be. Alright guys, well I'm going to call it the end of this one. I know it was kind of different, but it might be like a little idea for you guys, for those who like to have surveillance cameras, or, I mean, more than anything, I have my cameras for my animals. Like I said, this right through here, this area, is where a forest a lot of times comes, and the last foxes I've had, I'm not sure if foxes are the word or just fox plural, but would come through here, and I haven't been able to pick him up because of the camera not working right there. So now I'm hoping it will stay working. I'm thinking about doing it to the other one as well, but I'm not 100% sure on that one yet. So I might do it over there too. It wasn't too difficult because that light over there was working already. So all I would have to do is basically just take the old camera off, make the mount, and put the pan cam on it. So, but there again, one last time. So, like I said, I wasn't sponsored by Wyze or Wasserstein or Wasserstein. I'm not sure how you say it, but I will link them below because I do believe Wyze is a good company. I mean, I've had their products for a little while now, and there hasn't been much of an issue at all. Like, none of my cameras have kicked out on me yet. Like, knock on wood. Like, none of them has stopped working to the point where I got, okay, I got to throw this away. They've all worked for the two and a half years, whatever it was, I've had my first camera. I've got 4 pan cams, and then I've got 2 of the regular stationary cams. So they're both great products. I like both of them. I also have their Wyze plug outdoor. Haven't hooked it up yet, but I think I'm gonna put it up there on my deck and maybe hook some lights up to it or something like that. I really just don't know about this one yet. This came with a bundle. I forget. I think it came with the Wyze bulb socket, if I remember right. I've got 2 of those, the Wyze bulb sockets. I've got the Wyze thermostat. That's nice to have. But I'm sticking with them for now. To be straight up honest with you guys, there was a minute there where I think, along with hundreds, maybe thousands, well, I know thousands more, were thinking about leaving Wyze because they started this subscription plan where it's like, it made it sound like you had to pay them monthly in order to get a recorded video. Right now you get 12-second recorded videos. And they were going to change it to where it'd just be snapshots. And I'm like, well, I don't want it. I mean, Wyze is this is one of the reasons why I went with Wyze, because they have a free cloud storage, right? I mean, and it's, like I said, it's 12-second videos, but you can also do playback, where it will show you pretty much the whole motion of the individual or animal or whatever the case might be. But yeah, I almost left them there for a minute, but then I found out that all you have to do, if you guys decide to go with Wyze as a camera, company or whatever, is you go into their website, and it's called Pro Plus Light or Light Plus or something like that, and you could literally put $0 for the monthly fee. So in other words, it's free. It's still free. So I've stayed with them, and I said haven't been really disappointed. My mother, she has a Ring, and we compared the two. I was at her house, and she was showing me on her phone her Ring that she has on her Ring doorbell and above her garage door. And I've got the Wyze. Well, she showed me her Ring bell on her phone, the picture quality, and I showed her mine, and she was like, wow, how much were these again? And like the pan cam, I believe, is like, the older one might be around 35, 40, and these newer ones I think are maybe around 50 or 55, I believe. And the old school, very first little stationary cameras, those guys are around, if they even sell those anymore. I'm not real certain on that, because they've got new upgraded versions now, the V2 I believe, and the V3 I believe, if I'm saying this correctly. If not, I apologize, but those were only like $25, $30. So I jumped on those first, just because I wanted to buy one to see what it was all about. And I was like, you know what? It's pretty cool, man. I mean, and now I realized they have these ones that pan and zoom in and out, which those ones zoom in and out, but that's all they do. They don't go side by side or up and down. But I found out these ones pan, and honestly, I love them. I love them. I mean, in the picture quality, like I said, I mean, people are like, wow, that's a heck of a deal, And with Ring, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure my mom said that she has to pay a monthly subscription or whatever to have a ring. So, I don't know, $200 versus $40, $50, even $60 for a camera, and to have recorded video and decent, pretty good night vision. Wyze has a brand out there now, a Floodlight. Excuse me, they have a Floodlight out there now that it could be twice as good as that one. I wouldn't doubt they were. I mean, I'm not disappointed in this other brand, this Wasserstein or whatever. I'm not disappointed in them. They've worked as they've said. I mean, I just customized one. You know, well, one of the, yeah, I guess you could say I customized the Floodlight. I mean, to hold a pan cam. So, pretty excited about it. I hope it stays working. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm out of here. Peace. Till next time.